I love Sierra Juniper trees. They often look beaten down, half dead, but they're survivors. They keep living. They grow in dry, rocky places where other trees can't. 5 years ago, I was backpacking, and something really significant just happened in my life. I was out early in the morning praying, processing, standing beside this beautiful tree, and I looked up and I thought, what might God say to me through the tree? Now, I'm not the mystical type. I don't mean that I was expecting the tree to speak to me, more in the sense of a parable. Like, what might I see? What might God teach me through what I see? And I saw a number of things, like this branch totally broken off, dead, and the one right next to it broken down, but still connected and growing. And I have these pictures hanging above my desk of lessons I learned that day, ways that God spoke to me through looking at that tree. Ask me about it sometime, what they are. Well, recently, just a few weeks ago, my wife and I were backpacking. We camped on this rocky shelf near the Pacific Crest Trail. And I had loved hiking up to there. We'd seen a number of just beautiful junipers. And so I decided, while we were camped there, to take some time and walk around on this rocky area and to look more carefully, slowly, sit beside, observe these trees. And at first I was just observing, appreciating, a sense of wonder. But then that question came to me again. What might these trees have to say to me? What might they teach me? What might God say to me through the parable of these trees? So many of them are smashed, broken, knocked over, but they keep growing. And I saw this one, and it gave me a sense of how this happened. So here's a fresh break. I assume this happened, this winter under this heavy Sierra snow they had. But notice that branch. It's still connected to the tree, and there's still life on the branch. But what's this going to look like in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? Maybe something like the twists and turns of this Sierra Juniper. So these trees can suffer huge losses. They're no longer, a big, tall tree. Look at this thing. It's just a stump of a tree there, which once had obviously been bigger, wider, bigger. But it is alive and growing. So what's the lesson? Don't give up. These trees still have something to contribute. They're still alive. They're being what God created them to be. Let us do the same. With a clear sense of calling, don't give up. Believe that we have value to offer. Keep seeking to be what God created us to be. Now, what's the difference between an alive juniper and one that's totally dead? The difference is connection to their roots. And as long as there's a strip of bark with some live wood underneath it, connected to the roots and then up to the branches, there's life there. And it might be just in a thin part, a particular part of the tree where there's a few things growing, the rest of it might be dead. But as long as there's that connection, there is life. So what's the lesson? I asked myself, Mark, what are connections that keep me alive? Protect them. Nurture them. What are connections that keep you alive? Protect them. Nurture them. Junipers do not grow fast. They don't grow well in a forest. They can't compete with other trees. They grow where other trees don't, where other trees can't. They survive. What's the lesson? Discern my place, my calling. Where do I thrive? Stay there. Grow there. Thrive there. Now, as you notice in this tree, Not all Sierra junipers are bent up, twisted, broken. Some do manage to grow straight and tall. And looking at the contrast between these straight, tall ones and the ones all twisted, I thought, oh, this is an illustration of a centered set. Now, I know in reality, Sierra junipers are a bounded group. I mean, they're a genus species, special things that make them Sierra junipers. But in an illustrative sense, they represent a centered set in that you don't have to have a particular appearance. You don't have to look like a tree like this. You don't have to have a sort of what we think of as a tree shape. Sierra junipers are not defined by shape or appearance. And in like ways, in a church, people are not defined by appearing in a certain Christian way. What's important is their direction, their orientation, like this tree here. Is it growing? If it's growing, it is still a Sierra juniper. So a centered way, oriented towards Jesus. The question is, are they headed towards Jesus? Are the people growing? Centered set. So then lastly, that's the question, why do these trees fascinate me? You know, I'm attracted to the wounded. They're bent up. They're surviving. It's their suffering that makes them interesting, that makes them beautiful, that catches my attention. Now, these trees don't seek suffering, and the lesson is not to go out and seek suffering, but the confidence that our suffering gives us something special to offer to others, to make us beautiful, attractive, interesting, something to offer to others. I hope you've enjoyed these things that I observed, I learned from Sierra junipers, and I hope that it stimulates you to go out into nature and do the same. There may not be any Sierra junipers at all near to where you live, but find something in nature. Ask that question. God, what do you have to teach me through this?